and we'll get started with this presentation.
Okay, we're good.
All right. Welcome everybody to this HackFS event. This is week 5, the final week. Submissions are in a few days. Hopefully everybody is wrapping up their projects, and if not wrapping up, you're sprinting like mad to get them done before the deadline. We know that all your submissions are going to be awesome. So today we have a presentation from Emily and Ken. Well, Emily will be presenting and Ken will be supporting. They are from the Ecosystem Support Program, which is a group at the EF, the Ethereum Foundation, that runs an extension of the previous grants program that looks to provide support for projects, individuals, in many different ways throughout the ecosystem. And we're very excited to have them today to intro what ESP is and what they do and how you can be helped by them. So I will turn it over to Emily and Ken to say hi, tell us about themselves for a couple seconds, and then we'll have the presentation. And then at the end will be just some time for Q&A. So either write your question in the chat and we'll get to it, or hold it until the end. And Emily, Ken, why don't you unmute and tell us about yourselves?
Yeah, hey, thank you for the intro. My name is Emily. Ken, do you want to give yourself a quick intro just like before I jump into it?
Hi, I'm Ken. I help with the Ecosystem Support Program. I have been a part of the Ecosystem Support Program since it was the EF Grants Program. So we've been at this for about 2.5 years or so. And it's been awesome to kind of see the growth from, what we could do best with the grants program to now with ESP, and kind of taking each inquiry as a holistic kind of submission to find support. Our team has grown a huge amount just so that we can kind of figure out where and how we can help best. And so I'd like the narrative to be switched a little bit, and instead of kind of coming to us and asking us for help, it's actually the other way around, where an inquiry is submitted, we'd want to figure out how we can help you. So think of us as a resource and how we can be best leveraged to help your projects.
Thanks, Ken. Yeah, Ken's an old hat at this. He's been around a while. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start this presentation. Let's see. 1 second. Ooh. 1 second. All right, we good?
Can you try to make it full screen?
Yeah,
It's not full screen for me. Oh, okay. 1 second. I messed up my screen share. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Try it again. How's that? Good? Okay, cool.
That's good.
Got it. All right. So, hey, like I said, my name is Emily, and I'm here to talk to you about the Ecosystem Support Program, and sort of teach you about the support tools that will be available for your project once the hackathon is over. My image is missing. I'm sorry, things happen. But ESP, it stands for Ecosystem Support Program. I know we're really into acronyms and we like to throw them around a lot. So I just like to be extra clear. This is what ESP means. Through this talk, I'm gonna bring you through, who we are, what we do, why we do it, and how we do it. Before I continue speaking about ESP, I really want to zoom out and talk about just the Ethereum Foundation, just on the whole. So the Ethereum Foundation's mission, we want to do what is best for Ethereum's long-term success. Simple, easy, right? In a nutshell, that's what it is. And to accomplish this, we take on a couple different roles. So we try to allocate resources to critical projects. We strive to be a valued voice within the Ethereum ecosystem. And we also advocate for Ethereum to the outside world. And so ESP comes in on that first role that the EF has, on the allocation role. So ESP is the resource allocation arm of the Ethereum Foundation, where one of the ways that the EF pursues the first goal of, allocating resources to critical projects. So specifically, we connect individuals and teams at any stage of development with a broad range of support, whether that means grants, technical feedback, introductions, free access to tools and platforms, or even just like starting the conversation, just having a chat about things. So as you can tell, we take support to mean a lot of different things. Like Ken mentioned before, the old EF grant program really focused only on allocating traditional grants. But we've expanded this definition of support to really include like all sorts of different things, different resources that we try to supply. So, when I say support, I can mean a traditional financial grant, a project idea validation. We can gather community feedback on behalf of your project. We can help with project coordination, hook you up with introductions. We've given applicable credits like AWS credits or software credits. And we also direct people towards alternative funding sources, say like Moloch DAO or something like that. This by no means is an exhaustive list like at all. We're constantly trying to find new ways to figure out how we can support projects in the ecosystem. So who is eligible for support? That's a question we get a lot, obviously. Anyone who is involved with Ethereum is eligible for support. But more specifically, if you are receiving a traditional grant, we do have some baseline requirements that I just want to bring to everyone's attention. Your project needs to be open source. It needs to benefit Ethereum, and it needs to focus on either universal tools, infrastructure, research, or common resources. And again, that's just for like receiving a traditional grant. If you don't check all those boxes, you're still eligible for alternative forms of support. So what don't we like to see? Major no's. We will not pump or help sell your token, like straight up. We will not invest in your new quant fund, and we're not going to fund your totally unrelated to Ethereum business. And this is across the board for like any form of support. Like we're not going to entertain these inquiries. And I think you kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to say here, but I do want to point out that there is nuance. For example, we are likely not going to fund your dApp straight up, but if in the process of making your dApp, you create a free and open source dev tool, that would really be like a boon to the ecosystem. That's the conversation we're interested in having. That's the thing that we're interested in funding. So to further elaborate on this, I gathered some examples of past support that I just want to talk about a little bit. So the first project I want to highlight is called Alice. Alice is a decentralized platform for the social finance sector. They help impact investors, governments, and nonprofits to cut transaction costs and share verified impact data. That's who they are. But why did we want to try to support them? They're a veteran team in the ecosystem. They're very values aligned, and normally they wouldn't qualify for a traditional grant. But since they were such valued members of the community, we really want to acknowledge the work that they had put forth, and we wanted to find a way to help them. So how do we help them? We actually connected them with Alex Vandesan, who provided really good UX and UI feedback on the Alice app. The team was really excited, really pleased with this. They even tweeted us like a thanks. So this is a situation that generally everyone left happy, and we're really proud of this one. And the next team I want to highlight is Conchio. Who they are, they're a GoFundMe style marketplace for social good missions on Ethereum. Again, in our former grants program that really only focused on the traditional monetary grants, this type of application would have likely been rejected. It wasn't protocol layer or infrastructure or research. It's just an example of something really good, really interesting that can be built on Ethereum. So why did we support them? They were also proved that they were values aligned, and they're also a team of Web 2 devs trying to break into Ethereum. So this sort of tied into the advocation idea. We're trying to get those conversions from Web 2 onto Ethereum. We wanted to really encourage this type of conversion. So again, that's why we felt moved to help them. And how do we help them? Well, we saw this project was really similar to the Alice project. So we connected them with the Alice CEO who got on a call, really provided this team with one-on-one guidance and gave them some tips. You know, this type of support is super valuable for entrepreneurs. It's really not something you can find on Twitter or on Reddit. And we also pointed this team towards some useful tutorials and developer resources to really help them get started working on Ethereum and learn best practices. And lastly, since we wouldn't be directly funding this project once it was built out, we direct them towards various other tech incubators and startup funding resources. And the last project that we supported that I want to highlight is ClearFund. So ClearFund is a community effort geared towards building an open and less trustful quadratic funding protocol for the Ethereum ecosystem using Macy. Why do we fund them? So funding public goods is a big thing we do at the EF. You know, it's our mission at ESP, and funding public goods is a huge undertaking. It requires a lot of community effort, cooperation, support, funding. And funding public goods on Ethereum, we believe, just shouldn't be under the strict purview of the EF. It should be shared among all community members. So that's why we were really interested in funding this. Another reason is because ClearFund brought together a collective of entities to fund the fund. So how do we help them? We granted them 21K in matching funds to go towards the first 2 production rounds of CLR. They also received matching funds from Moloch, from Gnosis and Colony, and a couple others. And seeing this like group effort, these like opportunities for matching and coming together to fund something really excites us, and it's something we're super interested in. And the first 2 rounds of CLR are likely happening this fall, so stay tuned. So now that I've sort of described a couple of examples of the teams that we've helped, how we've helped them, I wanted to just show you guys some stats and kind of tell you like what we've been working on just since 2020 has started. All right, so in this chart, I've outlined a couple of categories of support. So how I got this chart, I gathered all the instances of support, so either traditional grants or alternative support, each instance that we've given and provided in 2020, and I sorted them by the general category that their project is geared towards. And the reason I did this is just to really highlight, one, the diversity of categories that we support, and to show you just like, you know, what we're generally spending our time talking to and working on. So community and education is the biggest piece of the pie, DevX and tooling. We've got user experience, layer 1, layer 2, indirect funding, and cryptography and ZKP, with a small little slice of bits and bobs that don't quite fit nicely into these categories. Let's see. Let me go back. I got click happy. All right, so here's some more statistics. We have supported 68 projects since the start of 2020. We're very happy with this number. This is something we've been working really hard towards. One of our big goals is to always be, you know, constantly trying to find more ways we can provide alternative support, and really trying to say, yes, we can help you to everyone who knocks on our door. So yeah, that's just one of the things we're constantly striving for. And of those 68, 57% of them were teams that received alternative funding supports, and 42% of them received a traditional grant. So now that I've talked about like the who, what, when, except who, what, how, who, what, why, I'm going to talk about the how. So how do you apply? So first off, you go to our website. It's esp.ethereum.foundation. You scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll find 2 buttons, one specific project and one for exploring possibilities. So for it, For specific project, this is if you know what you're working on a project, you just need help moving it forward. Maybe you need advice, maybe you need funding. We don't really know. You need to click submit on that specific project button so we can find out more. For exploring possibilities, this is really if you really want to contribute to Ethereum. You maybe have a skill that you think could be useful, but you just aren't sure where to go, where to start, in which case, again, you'd use the exploring possibilities button. For both of those forums, we make the questions really vague, and the forum is short. This is on purpose. Don't feel compelled to spend weeks working on it. When you're reading these, just try to frame it as, what can ESP do for you? If you need something specific, ask for something specific. Just come out and say it. If you don't know what you need, that's fine. Just, let us know everything you know, and the more information you can give us, the better we can help you. So once you submit an inquiry form to our website, you will be getting an email confirmation. And then the next stage is striking out the conversation. So we will get in touch with you and try to figure out, what does success look like for your project? What are your goals? What are desired outcomes? What is the intended impact here? And that usually entails a one-on-one call with a member of the ESP team, so we can really get to know you. And then from there, once we've gathered that information, we really try to move to identifying support opportunities. Try to find the things that can help you get you where you need to be. So if you're still kicking around ideas or you need a little more inspiration, please head over to our website. We've got a wish list up here, which is a non-exhaustive list of just some of the areas where we're actively seeking applications, just general topics of interest to us right now. Don't feel limited by this. Follow your heart. We all love surprises. So, submit anything you got. Another area you can find on our website is our pin board. These are interesting problems for you to tackle. This was created in collaboration with the ETH2 research team. So definitely give that a look if you're looking for some sticky problems. So yeah, get in touch, sign up on our website. You can email us too at esp@ethereum.org. You can also tweet us at ef_ESP, or just check our Twitter to see just like what we're up to. You can also go to our website. We have a blog running for more updates on our team and information just on the various people and teams we've been able to support. We also have a new newsletter up and running, so you will never miss an update if you sign up for our newsletter. That's on the bottom of our website as well. Actually, I think, do we have time for a quick Q&A?
We most definitely do.
Sweet. Ken, would you like to join me for the question and answer portion?
Yes, I would.
Okay, cool.
I am here.
So yeah, anybody feel free to unmute and ask the question. I guess we could probably start with Josh, if you want to unmute and share what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I posted it in the chat, but so my project is building on top of 3box and OrbitDB and MetaMask and a lot of these other tools that they may have a direct connection to Ethereum, but they make available something that may not even be necessarily on the Ethereum blockchain. And our apps may be building on top of those tools. So it's kind of an indirect connection to Ethereum. How does that impact the possibility of funding?
I mean, if you're looking for direct funding, you'd have to go back to that first slide where you talk about, the 3 prerequisites. I mean, is what you're building, is it a public tool? Is it open source? Is it a community resource? So I think those are the first questions you need to ask. But I would say it wouldn't preclude you for other types of support. There still might be connections we can try to make for you, or resources we can point you towards. It just depends really on like what specifically you think that we could help you with. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions? I think that might be it.
All right, yeah.
I can't see the chat, so.
Oh yeah, no, there was just looks like there was just the one question.
Okay, cool.
Let me quickly double check the YouTube stream just to be sure, but we could probably wrap up here in a moment. Yep, looks like we're all clear.
Okay, cool. All right.
But yeah, and next we're going to be moving into the one-on-one sessions that this ecosystem support program team members have set up. So if you've signed up for one of those sessions, they'll be reaching out to you with a separate session to join, and you'll be talking to them. But this is the end of this current presentation. So thank you everybody for joining and listening to Emily. Thank you, Emily and Ken, for being here and sharing a little bit about what you guys do with the HackFS participants.
Yep.
If there are
thanks.
no final questions, we will wrap up for today. And everybody have a good day. If you're in the sessions after this, hopefully they're useful.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thank you.